got 10 different ideas for you on how to work effectively with others. And I will remind you of your back page. So this is another section of tools, more tools. So if you see a tool here and you go, hey, I like number 3, that's not something I do and that's something I want to work on, then turn to that back page and write down listens fully to others. And maybe think of the person that you are going to use that on, next time you're working. Maybe it's a spouse or a child or a friend. It can work in every situation. So number 1, put yourself in the other person's place. I'm not going to harp on that because that's what we just did the last 15 minutes. Start to put yourself in the other person's place. Think about what are their concerns, their goals, their motivations, their pressures that are being put on them. And try to understand those. Again, you can empathize without sympathizing. You can understand without agreeing. I know what you're going through. Let's see if we can work this out. Number 3, listens fully to others. One of the challenges that people say all the time is my boss doesn't listen to me. I try to explain something and they cut me off. I can't finish a sentence. They always know so much that they don't even have to have me fully explain things. So sometimes it really doesn't take an awful lot of time to let somebody finish their sentences and finish their thoughts. Don't cut them off and say to them, basically when we cut somebody off, we say to them either A, your problem is so obvious, you don't even need to finish it. Or B, I'm so smart, I know it even before you get it all out of your mouth because I know so much. Number 4, build others' self-esteem. Help other people feel that they are competent, that they're valued, that they're good at what they do. If this mechanic comes up to the line and says, well, so what's wrong? You called me again. And the line lead says, oh, I'm so glad you're here. You are so good at this. It's so important for me to have you. I really wish I could fix it, but I can't. You think his attitude can change? Instead of saying, what took you so long? What do you need? What took you so long? Boom, we're out. We're off, right? Just the way that we respect each other and help build other self-esteem. If I say to somebody, hey, you're really good at what you do. You're so important to me. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming to help me. Instead of what took you so long. It can change the whole nature of the conversation. Understand. Number 7, pick your battles selectively. You don't have to fight everything. Right? Have you ever known anybody that fought everything? You ever met anybody like that fights everything? I have a guy that I know that fights everything, and actually it's my middle son. He's a great guy, but he fights everything, right? If you say this guy is blue, he'll say, well, it's kind of greenish, and we're going to go, and then he'll look it up on the internet and prove you wrong. And that's just the way that he does things, and it's very good. He's going to be an engineer, and it's very good for him in that kind of scientific field, right? To challenge it. But he fights everything. So the way we got him to go to the school that we wanted him to go to is we told him not to go there. Pretty well. He's there now, and he's going there, and he'll finish up this year. But that's just the way he is. So when Danny fights something, do we take him seriously? No, he fights everything. All right. Now let's say that Travis over here, did I get the name right? Travis, he doesn't fight anything. He's Mr. Easygoing, right? And he just he rolls with the punches, and he doesn't really make a big deal. And all of a sudden one day he says, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. That's wrong. I'm not doing that. You start to rethink what you're asking him to do. Do you question yourself instead of him? Absolutely. If he was just making battles all the time, it would just be one more battle. But when he's selective and he puts his feet in, I'm going to listen to him. So pick your battle. If you want to be taken seriously, pick your battle selectively. And then you're not going to be battling all the time either. Number 8, use questions to guide the discussion. Quit telling people what to do and ask them questions. People in general are smart, and smart about those things that they do. The people that you work with, let's take day workers out of it, okay, but the people that you work with in general, how many hours do they work on it at a time? 12? Work on something, so they work on that machine for 12 hours a day, 3 to 4 days a week, have been doing it for 3, 4, 5 months. You think they know something? Absolutely. Yeah, I grew up in the military. Anybody else spend any time in the military? Any military people there? Okay. Well, one of the things that you learn in the military, my dad taught me this, that whenever he'd go to a new assignment as an officer, he'd go and find his top sergeant and learn from him and say, what do we need to do, and who's our trouble, and that was who he communicated with, because that top sergeant really was the person who knew everything that was going on in that organization. So don't come in there thinking you're the expert. Use those questions and find out what's going on with an organization, what they do. Number 9, encourage and praise. Now, almost always when I talk about motivation, we did that little experiment on motivation, somebody invariably says positive reinforcement. I get that maybe 90% of the time that somebody in a group like this will say that's the thing that kicks our trips and trigger the case in a gear. And yet I know that in this organization and in almost everyone that I talk with, so it's not unique, we wish yours were unique, but it's not, there's not enough encouragement going on. We are very, very able to find what people do wrong. And we don't notice what they do right. So I could do right, do something wrong, my boss comes, hey, that's wrong. Right? What about all the other rights I got? You know, how about you gave me that lousy machine? We gave that to Nick to run. Worst machine. What's the worst machine to run out there?
183.
Huh? 183? Okay, worst machine to run. All right. We give it to Nick because he's really good at what he does, and he gets 70% productivity out of that machine. Now we got two others. We got two solutions. Why didn't you get 80? Just one. Or said, man, I can't believe you got 70% out of that pig. Thank you so much for getting the, I've seen what other people, and I'm so glad that you did that. Because you got the best out of what you could get. I just know that machine. So encourage and praise. Go ahead and look, go to the back page if you haven't written something down on your idea list. Perhaps one of these 10 suggestions, these 10 ways to work effectively with others are a good thing to put on your idea list. The only way that you'll make change is by taking one or two ideas and using it and practicing with it.